Hey, welcome back, y'all. Thanks for tuning back in. I really do appreciate your time. Appreciate your viewership as well. I've had some viewers contact me and say, hey, look, man, I've been unsubscribed from your channel. The last video I did, I turned comments on 3 times, and those were turned off 3 different times. So be sure to check your settings. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification on your page there. That'll notify you of any new video that I post. Be sure to check your subscription status as well, because YouTube does start messing around with stuff, y'all, and start censoring things. I've heard other YouTubers say, hey, check your subscription status, especially gun channels, because they've been unsubscribing viewers. I've had it happen with videos where my views have shot up and then 24 hours later been decreased by thousands. So I don't know. It is what it is. It's big tech. Big brother chiming in. Big left censoring what you see, what I can say, so on and so forth. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification. Got a few things today. Come out here. The match on Saturday, the forecast has changed a little bit. It's not supposed to be as wet, but they're still calling for 15 sustained 35 to 40 mile an hour gusts. So I started thinking, I was like, you know what? That slower load is probably not ideal. I need to shoot the hotter load. So I'm coming back out here today to sight in the 42.3 grain H4350 load. Also on my loading bench, I was sitting there last night, and I've had this priming machine from Frankfurt Arsenal sitting around. I finally broke it out. Why do I keep priming on this Reading press? It's inconsistent. It's a pain. So that's what I did. So I started priming some, and I'm like, you know what? I better shoot some of these first to make sure the seating depth on the primer is okay and it goes off before I go do 150 of these and be fucked, so to speak.
Most significant investments in climate ever. The work that you risk your lives doing, lots of it. Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? For democracy. Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? For democracy. What we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years.
It was at this moment that he knew he f***ed up.
So I took that opportunity. I'd already loaded up some of these H4350 loads to re-zero my scope with. I had that 6.5 Staball powder sitting there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to test these primer depths with the 6.5 Staball. I'm going to run a few different loads. I try to add something new instead of me just sitting at a bench shooting the same thing over and over again. A little diversity, whatnot, you know, to my videos. I hadn't shot the 6.5 Staball really in a load test. We're going to do that today. We're going to test some numbers on it. We're going to test the accuracy with it. I've loaded up 43.2, 43.4, 0.6, and 0.8 of 6.5 Staball Winchester ball powder. It's copper eraser, temp stable, blah, blah, blah. So the beautiful thing about that stuff is it meters so well, and I can load so quickly with it compared to that H4350. We're going to shoot this new powder. We'll get some tests and accuracy on it. We're going to do that first, because there's no sense of sighting in my other than messing with it. Then I'm going to re-zero my scope with this H4350 42.3 grain load. We're shooting the 133 Elite Hunter hybrid bullet from Berger. Once I get it back on target, we're going to step out, smack some steel. I'm going to re-zero this Kestrel to this 42.3 grain load before my match on Saturday. That's the plan. Kind of dressed up today, a little PSA. I'm gonna say my 2 cents worth on this. I had a friend, an old neighbor I grew up with, died last week of a brain bleed out of the blue. He's 1 year older than me. I've got another friend that's 2 years younger than me, diagnosed with cancer in February of this year. I was just told yesterday that there's nothing more that they can do. Start making arrangements. You got a few weeks to a couple months left, and we're gonna put you on hospice. That's crazy. It's crazy to me, y'all. So find a loved one, tell them you love them. Find your wife, your kids, give them a hug tonight, because you never know when you're gonna check out. A couple of years ago, I was super lucky. I was in a UTV accident. I could have been killed on the spot right there. Could have been paraplegic, you know. Had my whole face laid open with that one. You never know when you're gonna get called. Be sure to tell a loved one you love them. It's all about perspective, you know. Here I've been boo-hooing myself and pissed off at the world because business sucks and the president's a dipshit.
Come on down.
And here my friend is, past month and a half, been suffering through chemo, only to find out that all that effort and all that crap is for naught. That you are going to die, and you're going to die soon. Just so sad. So sad. Things ain't that bad sometimes, you know. I gotta get my attitude in check, because I am very fortunate. I pray every night that God keeps my family safe and healthy, that I stay safe and healthy, keep my loved ones safe and healthy. I want to see my grandkids. The other thing too I wanted to test today was this H4350. I opened a new jug. It's a big 8-pound jug. I had had it for a couple years. I just tapped into it. I had some smaller pound jars. I'm like, you know what? I need to get into this older stuff. So I want to check to make sure it's about the same velocity as what I was shooting before. As stated, I want to try to add something new, you know. This is the 42. This is the 43.2. We're going to go top, left, target dot. I've only got 3 shots on this here, on each of these. 2890, 2878, 2880. Great numbers on it. Again, these are all 3 shot. 2883, ES12, SD 6.6. Seems to be a decent little group. All right, this is the 43.4. 2895. ES13, SD is 7. 2889. Numbers are really nice on this. 43.6. Brass primer looks good so far. Group suck. Top right. 2902. 2906. No, group fell apart. 2921. ES19 SD 9.8. 2910 average. Last few with the 6.5 Staball. And we're going to get on to the main reason why I'm out here. That group sucked too. $29.22. $29.16. $29.26. Brass and primer good, y'all. All right. $29.21. ES11, SD of 5. Throwing some really good numbers. The first group and the last group are probably my best. Those two middle ones aren't very good at all. All right, H4350. We're gonna shoot a 5-shot group. We're gonna re-zero this scope. 2909. 2908. So far it's a little slower than that last batch of H4350. 2917. 2900. So it's a little slower. Group isn't as good as that last batch of 4350 I was shooting. 2908. ES17 SD is 6.3. Like the numbers on it though. Highest was 2917, lowest was 2900. So I'm about 10 to 15 feet per second slower with this batch of powder than I was the last batch of powder. All right, here's the Winchester 6.5 Staball. As the 43.2, 43.4, 43.6, 43.8. This is my first group with the H4350, the new lot. I got 3 in one. I had 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate messing with it, but I really felt the need to. If you'll notice, some of those last videos, that 39 grain load would group really well, but I always have one that would drop out of it for whatever reason. At least this 42.3 grain load kind of stayed together more. So I didn't like the fact that I always have something dump out on it. A. B. I want to have a little more zip on it this weekend. Hopefully deal with that wind. We'll see how that works out for me. Project Ukraine got their 61 bill. That buffoon, he couldn't complete a sentence again. Mumbled a bunch of shit, then read his teleprompter. Pause. Idiot, idiot, idiot.
Pause.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
I didn't recalibrate my compass or my latitude on it. So I'm going to go with my gut here. Got a lot of mirage kicking down there. From the looks of that, it was 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock again, I think. This hotter load, man, definitely kicks more. That's what I liked about that 39 grain load. A little easier on the barrel too, but I think I just stacked 3 at 6 o'clock on the plate. I need to be 2/10 up higher. I've adjusted the feet per second to 2820. That has me at 2.2. I'm gonna dial 2.2. Let's see if this is center of plate. We'll try to smack the little plate. Smack that. Try the little plate again. Got it. Let's run down and take a look. There's my first group that I was saying was at 6 o'clock. Sure as hell was. Nice group too. I recalibrated. I went over to the small plate, held a little higher on it. Kept everything else the same. Put 2 right there. Bam, bam. So I say that's good enough. As good as it's going to get before Saturday. I think I got 1 round left. I'm going to go up there and see if I can smack this coyote. So it's good to know that primer seeder works. I'll go ahead and knock a bunch of those out tonight and start loading up some loads for the match. I got 2 left actually. Trying to do a little better job of reading the wind, just not trusting what this, that, or the other says. I need to start practicing more at lower power too. I get back here on a bench, punching paper or punching steel, and I'm all dialed up to 30 or the max. And I get to a match, and that dog don't hunt, and you're looking at your target, this much smaller reticle. Wind has dropped. We'll hold straight up on the coyote's chest. Let her rip, tater chip. Dead coyote right there, boys and girls. I might as well run you down there and we'll take a look at it. There's my first shot on him. All right, gang. I am going to try to film some of the match on Saturday. And I'll bring you along on that next week once I get it all put together. I think that's the plan. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, do all that good jazz. Hit your bell notification. Be sure you're still subscribed to my loyal and awesome subscribers out there. Make sure you're still on my list, so to speak. Till next time, pause.
Pause.
Stay safe and stay free.
The nation's debt continues to climb, rising at a clip of around $1 trillion every 100 days. On track to spend $870 billion on interest payments alone this year.
Сьогодні ми отримали рішення, якого очікували про пакет американської підтримки.
Is $60 billion enough money for Ukraine to push back Russia decisively?
Well, we hope so. It's actually only 0.2% of our gross domestic product. So put in that context, it's not a whole lot of money for us. And we're optimistic these people are going to win. And also degrade the military of one of our biggest adversaries, the Russians.
Bidenomics is working.
That's all, folks.